Welcome back to school, everyone. Hope you had a great summer. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my summer. I was very lucky to be able to travel and fly all the way across the Atlantic Ocean to visit 6 different countries in Europe. On the way there, one of the airlines gave us these cute little soccer balls that were pieces of chocolate in honor of the World Cup. This is a map of all the places that we traveled and visited. We started in Prague, then went to Krakow, Poland, we drove through Slovakia, drove and stayed in Budapest, Hungary, then we went to Plavice Lakes and Rovinj in Croatia, and finally we ended up in Ljubljana in Slovenia. We started in Prague, which is a part of the country called the Czech Republic. It used to be called Czechoslovakia, and then it split apart into 2 countries called the Czech Republic and Slovakia. I visited both. There was a lot of different architecture in Prague. There were old buildings right next to new. You can probably guess which buildings are the old and the newer buildings here. I had a lot of great food, including this beef goulash with bacon dumplings. Can you guess where I visited next? If you said the library, you are correct. This is what it looked like when you came into the library and walked up the steps. The library doors are on either side of this giant piece of artwork, which is a stack made out of a whole bunch of old books. In many European countries, the types of food that they eat for breakfast are different. In Prague, at our hotel, we had a lot more vegetables than you usually see for breakfast, including baked beans and vegetables and green peas. We also did a food tour so we could sample a lot of different types of food from the Czech Republic. These are open-faced sandwiches, meaning they don't put a piece of bread on the top, they keep them open so you can see the ingredients in the sandwich. In the Czech Republic, they eat a lot of roast ham and beef, and also sausage. I went on this vacation with my husband and also my nephew. Yes, the really tall guy on the left is my nephew. He's just really tall, and he is an adult, just younger than me. We went to visit some cool old libraries like this one. This library made me think of when I visited some old libraries in England last summer. We saw a lot of foods advertised with hockey players or teams on them. Hockey is really popular in the Czech Republic. We also were out playing Pokemon Go during part of our vacation and ran into a group of kids that helped us find some places around the city. One place we went to had way more people playing the game. They also made really good apple strudel. Then it was time to take the train. We took a 6-hour train ride to Poland. We went to Krakow, Poland. While we were in Poland, we took a tour of a city called Nowa Huta, which was a city built by the communist government that overtook Poland after World War II. We rode around on the tour in this tiny car called a Trabant. It was made in East Germany, which was a country that was formed after Germany was split apart after World War II. You can't really tell how tiny the back seat is in these cars, but take my word for it, it was really small. There were lots of different types of food in Poland. This one is called a grilled cheese. If you ask for a grilled cheese in Poland, you're not going to get a sandwich with pieces of cheese grilled in between it. You're going to get a piece of cheese that has been grilled by itself, and then they might top it with things like this one, which has cranberries on top of it, like a cranberry jelly. After visiting Poland, we drove through the country of Slovakia, which used to be part of Czechoslovakia. I talked about that at the beginning. It's now the Czech Republic and Slovakia. When in Slovakia, we visited this giant castle called Orava Castle. It took a really long time to walk all the way up to the top highest building that you see. We also had some delicious food in Slovakia. This is venison, which is deer, and cabbage and little potato croquettes, little potato balls. They're like a mashed potato ball. Next, we went to Budapest, Hungary. We stayed in an absolutely gorgeous place. These are the stairs up to our Airbnb, and this is the entrance. When you walked outside, this was your view. This is the Parliament building, so this is the main government building in Hungary. Here you can see it from across the river. We watched some World Cup soccer games while we were there because it was playing everywhere, even on big screens in the park. We had some excellent strudel, not just dessert strudel, but for the main part of our dinner. I bet no one can guess the kind of building that this is. We went to a place that's called a thermal bath. It looks like a swimming pool, but the water is really warm because it comes from naturally heated water out of the ground. You had to use this little band to get around. We got to explore some other great markets. And try some more delicious food. Then we went to Croatia. It used to be part of a country called Yugoslavia. This is a giant waterfall in their national park. It has lakes and waterfalls, which have a beautiful blue color. We then made a quick stop in a town called Pula so we could see one of the most well-preserved Roman amphitheaters in the world. Gladiators even fought here. We then went to a beautiful town on the Adriatic Sea called Rovine, where we ate lots of delicious food and fresh-made pasta with truffles. It is a very old city with cobblestone streets you can see here. The roads aren't even big enough for a regular car. Those people are driving in a golf cart. Most of the places where you ate at this restaurant were outside in the street like this. Our final stop was Slovenia. We stayed in the city of Ljubljana, which is the capital. We also visited Lake Bled, where we were able to ride on boats made out of wood. Then I got to try some traditional Slovenian buckwheat dumplings. Of course, I had to visit another library, and I really like to look at covers of different books, including this cover of Harry Potter. We also visited Postonia Castle, which is literally built into the side of a mountain. And we got to go underground and visit Postonia Caves. I had a great trip and met a lot of interesting people. I learned a lot of new history about all these countries. If you want to learn about the history or other things about these countries, learn more about some of the food, you can check out some of the books we have in the library that are all about these countries and their history.